Hello, hello. Welcome back to Life Skills, and where you will get a master's level education from a very spastic lady. That would be me. And I'm already having problems with my chair. Hello. Let's see what happens here. I don't know what's going to happen. Hi. This is a quick one because we're going to do an introduction to a basic budget setup. And the purpose of this particular video is fact finding. So before we even start anything else, this is the facts finding that I need you to work on. I would like if you have gone through the brain dump exercise video. I can't remember right now what number that is, but I label all of them brain dump, and these go in order, if that makes it any easier. But the learning the brain dump is part of what we do for um, the budgeting as well. So the fact finding. First of all, this is what we will and won't talk about. We're going to talk about management, that money is not evil, that I'm going to show you how to customize um, a budget that may or may not work for you. Who knows? It's yours. It's yours to decide. Remember my taco bar. And then self-discipline is kind of what it's going to take a little bit. But if you're here sitting through this and me blabbling, yes, that's a new word now, blabbling, then you are probably at the end of your rope and trying to live on a budget and blah, 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 blah. So the things we will not talk about is I am not a personal finance planner. I will not give you any financial advising. I know nothing about investment banking. Credit relief, like I don't do any of that. We can talk a little bit about how to pay credit cards down, but I don't talk about credit relief. And the key to why this has been so successful for the past 10, 15 years for me with clients is that I can work with you personally without using specific numbers that are your income and your expenditures. What I do is I just show you an example and then you are the one to work with that. And the feedback that I've gotten from clients about that has been really exciting for me to know that it's making a difference. So, um, a really quick on some reasons why people don't budget is that some of the things that you're looking up here on the screen. The one thing that I would take off though is the lazy, because what I have learned since I put that and I keep forgetting to take lazy off is there's really very few people in the world that are just lazy. Um, if you find yourself procrastinating something, it's because you're not sure how to go about it. It's overwhelming. You don't, like, so there's like a lack of education and some fear there. And so, and that can apply to so many things. So I would take out lazy, but these are some of the reasons why people don't budget. And then these are some reasons why it's a really, really, really good thing to budget. We all need a sense of control, especially today in 2025. And it can act as GPS for your goals and for your monthly, your day-to-day and monthly and everything else. Um, I gotta move the arm on this and then that'll be better. Okay, hi. Um, it brings about more awareness of exactly how much money you are bringing in versus how much money is going out. Of course, organization, communication. If you share finances with a significant other, it really keeps that line of communication open. And yeah, it can be some not so fun conversations, but at least there's some communication there. Um, Time saver, it really does save time, and you can become debt free by working a budget, and then you don't have to worry um, once you've got your savings starting to build up. So, just some quick definitions because some people don't know this. This is why this is a life skills workshop. This is something that is not taught in the schools anymore, and some parents have never sat down with their kids before they leave for college to define some of these. So we're going to define, we're going to do some identification, learn to prioritize, customize, and then utilize. So budget. It is an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. So that's it. It's not an ironclad, you know, rule etched in stone. It is an estimate. And it's a template and a tool. It's not a hammer. So to manage is to succeed in attaining one's goals, but it's basically to be in charge of. You want to be in charge of this estimate of your income and expenditures for a set period of time. Okay, so gross is how much money that I make before taxes and insurance, and what's gross about it is that how much taxes and insurance and all the other things that they take out of your earnings. Because taxes. So if you think of that as I just earned this amount and it's really gross how much they take out. Net is the actual check amount. So you may earn $400, but then after they take out, again, these are just made up numbers. You may earn $400, but they take out taxes and your Social Security and your health insurance, and so then your check may be $289. So knowing the difference between those is important. So the other thing you're going to do before you hop into the next lesson is I want you to have a list of the who, what, when, how, why, where notes of who who's paying you. So for a hot minute, I worked at a park district. Um, Tommy is supposed to give me child support, and Gina I loaned her some money, and so she's paying me back. And then Etsy, I have this side gig for, I don't know, making planners. So knowing all of those, of the who's and the what's, of identifying all of your income, that could be, like I said, it could be Etsy, it could be child support, it could be disability, it could be whatever, but know who and what um, all of the sources are, and then when, because Park District's every other week, Tommy pays once a month, Gina is every other month, and then Etsy is just kind of TBD. Um, how much money is the estimate? Remember, budget is an estimate. So the estimate, and usually you're going to estimate based on your net. You still want to know what your gross is, but you're going to just set up a budget based on your net. And then any kind of notes that you might uh, need to know every other Friday, or Tommy gets direct deposit into your account on the 12th, or the 15th of every other month, Gina is going to be paying me back, you know. So again, fact finding, knowing exactly where all of your money is coming from. Again, these are the things I said they wouldn't talk about. Why is that repeating itself? I don't know. Okay, hi. So, budgets, templates, and examples. And this is going to go back to Principle 12, which is all about you. It's going to be, I'm going to lay this out. You watch it. Something may click. Some things may be like, no, I've got Rocket Money now. Why are you doing it this old-fashioned way? It's just information because sometimes, especially those of us with neurodivergent brains, we need to see things in different ways. And I do have a daughter who uses Rocket Money and loves it, and it's working for her, and that's awesome. And so you have to just kind of figure out what is going to work for you. And so these are some templates that we will talk about later. But right now, I just want you to take a week or two. There's no rush in any of these workshops. Of course, it goes as fast or as slow as you want. But for you to fact find, to make a list of all of your income, the who's, the what's, the why's, the how's, and then um, you know what else I forgot? And then I want you to also, I'm going to speed through here for a second because there we go. This, and then this is where you're going to brain dump. You're going to start, if you need to keep receipts, if you need to look over your credit card statements and your bank statements or whatever. But as you're also gathering your information of all of your income, you need to write down every single penny that you have spent. And I would say do this particular video, use this workshop part for the next month. If you don't want to wait that long, at least 2 weeks. But make a list, brain dump of everything that you have to spend money on. Some of you that are watching this are homeowners, and so your bills are going to look different than a student who's in the dorm, and that's going to look different from a high school student who still is at home. So everybody's going to have a different budget, but your assignments are to identify all income, your who's, what's, why's, when's, where's, and then start listing every single penny that you spend. There's no judgment. I can't judge you because I don't even know who's watching this. There's zero judgment. This is just between you and your notebook or your computer for you to do. So work on those two things before you go to the next lesson, which is identify all sources of income, the who's, the how's, the why's, the what's, the how much, and then identify everything that you're spending money on. And once you feel like you've got a really good hold on that, then I will see you again in um, the next lesson, which I think will be number 9, if this is number 8. And then we can get going on setting up a basic budget. So let me get out of here to hit stop recording. Anyway, yeah, that's your homework. Get going. See ya.